I cannot for the life of me. And this is not even like a Leafs talk, a Leafs versus Sens talk. This is like a general hockey talk. If that is not a kick, I don't know what a kick is. And is it to the point where the guy has to bicycle kick it in the net for it to be considered a kicking motion?
You have to be Cristiano Ronaldo winding up to take a free kick, basically, for a ref to say that a puck has been kicked.
And like, to me, it's one of those things, like there's certain things in the NHL that we shit on refs a lot for. And sometimes I'll step back and be like, that's tough, or like that's great. It can go both ways. The kicking motion thing, and I was talking to a buddy about this, is the way I see it is people say, oh, okay, you can redirect it. You're allowed to redirect it. Well, to me, a redirect is like pivoting your skate. You can see when the skate just kind of slants and turns to get the blade on an angle where if the puck goes off it, it'll go in the direction of the net. But in that case, you saw Tierney's foot as the puck came jerk forwards towards the net. So if that jerk forward towards the net is not a kick, it has, I guess, it just straight up has to be like a blatant full kick now. And I know they make these rules to try to take the thinking out of it. Like they want to make it as black and white as possible. But I was always told that this rule was meant to protect the goalies. They don't want the puck in the crease, guys kicking at it. And even some people have said, why not just make the rule you can kick it, but your skate has to stay on the ice? They're like, no, because if the puck's in the crease, they don't want people chopping their skates at the goalie. But in that case, like a jerk motion was made going forward. And this specific case wasn't dangerous for the goalie, but it could be like that type of motion could be dangerous. So I don't know. And not like overly dangerous before people start flipping out on me. I just thought like total neutral perspective. I didn't like that one. And even I can say again, I was in the building when they showed it up on the Jumbotron. A lot of Sens fans were confused that it counted. So I'm not alone on that one for sure.
It's crazy that we've now had two incidents like this the first week of the NHL season. Opening night, Vegas against Seattle, the exact same thing happened, almost a carbon copy. The puck comes cross ice to Chandler Stevenson. And again, he kicks, redirects, jerks the puck into the net. They said that it wasn't a kicking motion, that he redirected it, and so it was a good goal. Mm-hmm. I think it's total trash. I think you can't, it's like you said, Lepore, it's like, what do you need to do for this to be a kick? Like, do you literally have to wind up and kick it like you're kicking a soccer ball? Like, this is crazy. Like, I can understand if you're, again, you maybe angle your skate and it's kind of like happening naturally almost, where it's like you're like moving your skate and like by accident it like hits off your skate and goes into the net or something, right? But when dudes are like literally like moving their skate and like you called it like almost like a jerking motion, not necessarily like a full kick, like, come on. I know it's a little bit of a gray area, but in both scenarios, the player's skate came off the ice a little bit. It happened with Chandler Stevenson. It happened with Chris Tierney. I don't think those goals should count whatsoever. And it's like you said, like, I'm sitting there confused. I'm like, how is this? Like, can the NHL explain this? Because this bullshit that, you know, they're just redirecting the puck and it's a good goal because of that, and it's not a distinct kicking motion, I think is complete garbage. Because at some point, like, if that's not a kick, Lepore, then what the hell is a kick at this point?
Yeah, it's funny. The irony about the whole thing is that when I saw the Chandler Stevenson one, my first reaction was like, that's not going to count, because again, that skate kind of moved forward, and then it did count. And what I thought to myself was, they gave him that one because it was the outside of his blade. It wasn't the inside. So I was like, I guess that's like a little better than like kicking with the inside of your skate. But then Tierney's was the inside of his skate. And I think the big problem here is you see goals like that. And again, like, my assumption is always with rules, they try to make things black and white. And like, I'll say the thing, imagine a series is won in overtime on a goal like Tierney's. No, man. And that, number one. And number two, you can't tell me, and we've seen the NHL in these types of situations before with those two goals, that you're setting a precedent for consistency, because there will be one similar to the Tierney one or the Stevenson one at some point this season that won't count. Like you can't tell me that. So it depends who's in the war room that day. Like, man, like the NHL, man, they got to figure that one out in a hurry, because like it wasn't a good look, I thought, anyway.
Yeah, they got to figure it out ASAP, because as soon as I saw Tierney, kick it in, I'm just gonna say it, he kicked it into the net. I thought back to opening night Vegas Seattle, and I said to myself, I was sitting on the couch watching the game. I go, this goal is going to count, because the exact same goal just happened in the Vegas Seattle game, a couple of nights ago. So there's no way this goal is going to get called off. And of course it was called a good goal, but yeah, there's definitely a gray area as well. Like I do understand the whole argument that yes, it's a redirection and not a full kick, but at some point, I think the NHL just has to take a stand on this rule and figure it out, and sit down with these referees and notify all the teams that, okay, if you're going to thrust or jerk your skate towards the net and your blade comes off a little bit, I'm sorry, that's a kick, or it's not, and just figure it out and make it blatantly clear what this rule actually is.
No, yeah, they need to. But let's not forget that Engvall never should have given the puck away in the first place.
Good point.
So the Leafs deserved it. Good. Like, good for Ottawa to punish us.